I ain't even gonna worry about it. Thank you, honey. Something that makes so complicatedly stupid. The smarter technology get, the dumber it and we get. In a minute, the only thing gonna be able to run technology is technology. We ain't gonna have no say so. I kid you not. They make it so we can't do nothing. A robot got to do it. Anyway, I'm not gonna get under that. What's going on, everybody? It's good to see y'all. I'm going to do a 30-minute live. I'm cutting this thing on, and I'm gonna set this for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. This is gonna be our 30-minute bail that I'm gonna do. Everybody like, yeah, whatever. Just in case. We're gonna set a 1-hour bail. Just in case. Just in case this get too good. Okay? Just in case this get too good, I'm gonna just make it 1 full hour. No, put it back up here. All right, just in case. So that's on. Now we're gonna get right into it. Everybody laughing like, yeah, whatever. They waiting on you to laugh first. So I couldn't get my camera hooked up. Let me see if I can still try it. I'm gonna just try something real quick. I think I've tried this before. Manage.
There's something to do with this up here.
Yeah, always block camera and microphone access. Let me try this. No.
If I said don't block
it opened something up. Hold on, y'all. No. Same stuff we was already doing. All right, I ain't gonna worry about it. Because I really wanted to show y'all some stuff. So how you doing, Nikki Walker, my Renaissance grandma? I'm glad I did miss what you said. What else we got? Small Talk, Stanley Jones, Kimberly Calhoun, Real Fresh Food, Jane Billet, Rio's Family Garden. How you doing, sister? I saw that tree you had going on today. So that was awesome. All them beautiful lemons on your tree at Rio's Family Garden channel. So I'm going to try to, let me see. I wish I would have did this correctly. I should have been did this, but I've been so busy. I ain't had time to figure it out. Hey, I'm human. So good. Gardner, what's up, my brother? Carla Lockhart, Cece Marie, Sadie V, how you doing? Miss Shirley OG Gardner, how y'all doing? Cheryl Faulkner, Santos Survival. All right. So listen, I'm going to do something right now and get it going. How many people have chickens? Show your hands. I got 30 minutes. Come on. Time is ticking. I'm trying to keep my word. How many people got chickens? Or how many people want chickens, but you can't find none? How many people got chickens? People got chickens, and y'all seeing the problems. How many people seeing all the problems we have in finding chickens, the prices of eggs, everything else? I got something that you're not going to want to do. You're not going to want to do it, but you're going to have to do it. Kaylin says, I want ducks. I just don't get it. Ducks, they're cute. They are so messy. It's extra stuff you got to do for ducks. Ducks ain't going to just take care of themselves. You got to provide for ducks. They need their water, and then the water, you got one of them little pools, you got to keep dumping that water out. Because the ducks poop in the water, and duck poop stink. People don't think it do. Duck poop stink, just to let you know. So just to get on with it here, let me see. Say, yep, I found some chicks, local person with chickens. Very grateful. You are very lucky for that. Let me see. We're going to automate it. Kaylin, you must not have any livestock right now. I'm going to tell you this right now. For everybody that don't have livestock right now, this is just my suggestion. I'm not a professional. I just been doing this for about 15 years or so. I'm not a professional. I'm not a chickenologist. But I'm going to tell you this. Do me a favor. No, do yourself a favor. If this is your first time keeping livestock, don't automate anything. If this is your first time keeping livestock, don't automate anything. No automatic doors, no automatic lights, no automatic heaters, no automatic waterers, none of the above. And I'm saying this for a reason, because you're going to get lazy before you even know how this works. Don't automate anything. If you're a brand new to homesteading and you brand new to livestock, don't automate anything. Okay. The reason I say that is because you're going to get lazy and you're going to think all of these machines are never going to fail. And I promise you this, Fox are so smart. And I know you ain't going to believe me, but once you start homesteading, you're going to see Fox, they're so smart. They will start to realize when those little automatic doors open and when those automatic doors close, when those automatic lights come on, when those automatic lights go off. That is just like them Fox and the coyotes watch our house, right? They know when we're going to bed because they know all the lights in the house go out. That's when they start to come creeping. They ain't stupid. They watch your chickens the same way. They know it's automatic at certain signs when it's time to be able to come out. Don't automate anything until you season, you know the game. And even me, if I plan on, which I do plan on adding automatic door and stuff like that, I'm still going to be switching the time it open and close, by hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. I'll never leave it at one certain time for good because the fox, the coyotes, raccoons, and possums, they can count. I know you don't think they can, but all of your backyard homesteading predators are way smarter than we give them credit for. So you got to stay on top of your livestock. Don't automate anything. If you got sheep, you got lambs, you got any of the above, man, your job is to be a shepherd, to stand over and watch your livestock and always stay close by, to let automated machines. I had an automatic door opener years ago and I never used it again. You know why? Because it failed. The little wire, the little chain that it was on, hung up on a branch that fell out the tree, and my chickens was open. The door was open all night. Thank God that nothing happened to come that night. But I came out the next day and saw all my chickens out on my land, just walking around all like, top of the morning to you. And I'm looking like, what the hell happened? Go out there and see this one little twig off this maple tree had broke and tripped that wire up so it couldn't close all the way. That door was open all night long. And if the fox and the coyotes, possums, raccoons just happened to be out that night, I probably wouldn't have any livestock left. Let me get in here. Say I saw a fox 2 weeks ago in my yard. Oh, okay. Let me see. My water buckets are auto waterers. I still check them every day. I got automatic waterers too, but I check them every day. And you want to know something else? Those possums, raccoons, and all that stuff carry so many weird diseases on them. I don't leave none of my water buckets, automatic waterers, open at the top. I just put just enough where just my chickens can get them. Because them raccoon stuff, they like to wash their little dirty hands. You ever see a raccoon wash his hands before he eat or after he eat? He done ate your chicken feed or ate your dog food or cat food you left out for your pets, and then wash his hands like he got some manners. They wash their hands. Go look it up. I can't make this up. Okay. So, okay. We're here because if you can't get the chicks, you might have to go home and incubate. Okay. I thought that was funny. I know that some people like, ugh. If you can't get chicks right now in any of the suppliers for chickens, turkeys, hens, or anything, I'm going to say this. If you already have chicks or hens, start letting your rooster go to town on them and fertilize those eggs. If you don't have a rooster because you can't have a rooster, go on Facebook Market or a local farm or farmers market or somewhere where they sell actual true to life farm fresh eggs, and they are not fully refrigerated or they're super fresh. If you can get to a farm and they'll let you buy some eggs straight from them, get them, don't refrigerate them. You want to incubate those. So if you ain't got chicks and you ain't got no hens right now, it's time to get an incubator. You're not going to want to go home and incubate. Nobody wants to go home and incubate. Everybody wants to get the chicks, but sometimes you just have to, okay? If you strike out, you just got to go home and incubate. So I got 2 incubators, and I want to give a shout out to our friend Mary. Mary, if you're watching, this is going out to you because we already had an incubator, and it's the Innovations Farm Innovators. If you're familiar with this incubator right here, it's awesome. We've had this for like 2 years now, but years ago when all I did was incubate and sell chickens, we used this thing half to death. And the only reason we got rid of that is because it was in my garage and got crunched because they're just styrofoam. It got crunched by some of my junk in my garage, and I end up throwing it out. These things will last forever if you take care of them. They turn the eggs automatically with the turner on the inside, and they control the humidity. They're totally automatic. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is foolproof, but I've never had a problem with hatch rate with these incubators at all. This is what we usually have. So we were talking to our friend Mary, and she sent over some pictures that she just incubated and hatched out her very first chicks ever. So I thought that was so awesome. And she didn't have the one we had. She had this. And I've been looking at this for years, and I was like, it's just too small, which is the Nurture Right 360 automatic turning incubator. This is why I like this one. She sent us the picture of her incubator, and she sent all of the pictures of the chicks, which looked like she had an excellent hatch out rate. I've been looking at doing research on these for years. I just didn't want to pay that extra, whatever it is, $30 or whatever it is for this. There's an advantage to this. There's an advantage to this one over this one. This one is excellent, but excellent. Yeah, anyway, there's an advantage to this. If you don't have that many hens, one problem with having a gigantic incubator is trying to keep that humidity right. If you only got, just say, 10 eggs in there, they will hatch. They will work out fine. But when you got something smaller and they're closer together, you got a better success rate. Here, you got to play around way too much because that's just too much empty space. I think this holds, like 50 eggs or something like that. I can't remember. 30 or something to that nature. A lot of eggs. Where this one doesn't so much. As you can see, it carries just a handful of eggs. So if you only plan on incubating and hatching out a good clutch of chicks, for yourself, maybe a few for yourself and a few to sell, this size is way better. Now, if you're selling them, constantly selling, hatching and selling, you might want to buy 2 of these, because that's what I used to do. Okay. Hatch them out, sell them. Keep a couple. That keeps your flock, just like your bees. When you're beekeeping, you want to keep introducing new DNA into your bee yard. You don't want to keep that same DNA in that yard. Something will go wrong. So you get a hen from somewhere else, a rooster from somewhere else. Keep on introducing that new DNA, or else we don't want that. So I end up buying this thanks to Mary. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. If you watch it, thank you, because this is awesome. I got this in Sunday night. It was delivered. Instantly got it going, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what they look like in a second. But first, before I show you, I'm going to show you now. This is going to be hard because I was trying to get my camera connected to my computer, and I couldn't because I'm just that way. So I'm going to show you the hard way, okay? I'm even using the wrong chair anyway. So bear with me, okay? I got my laptop with me. This is the Nurture Right 360. It got the full digital readout on the top, color readout, which I do like. It also has an egg candler right here, so you can see if you actually have a chick in the egg or not. I'm going to turn my head for a second with that little flashlight. Okay, so you set the egg on here and cut the light on, and you can see if you got chick in there, like veins, and see if that embryo is growing inside that egg. Now, it has the outside, where can you see that? Okay, the outside water, so you can keep that humidity where it's supposed to be between 50 and 60%. You want your temperature around 100, and you want your humidity around anywhere from 50 to 60%, and you can keep track of that. So you got to make sure this stays filled up with water on this side. You don't have to use this side until it's time to hatch them out. But that's great because it's right here. You don't need any extra apparatuses and stuff, where here on the Farm Innovators, it has the same situation going on, but it has a basic digital readout screen. It has your temperature here. I hope y'all can see that. Here's your humidity rate right here, and how many days left to hatch out right here. I hope y'all can see that. Can y'all see that okay? Your hatch out date, your humidity, and your temperature is at the top. Now on this one, this also has the hatch out date. All you got to do to check it is right here. I got 20 days on that one. And the temperature, just go back to 99.5. So that's awesome. That is awesome. Both of these are great devices. And this is how you control the humidity on here. Here's the vent. Let me see if y'all can see that. Here's the vent. You just got to either put that on there if the humidity is dropping, or lift it up. You got 2 of those. On this one, it's built into the actual device. So you can just slide that open and close. To add the water on here, I don't like that. You got to pop that cork, put in something like a turkey baster, and fill that reservoir with water. So you got to go get you an extra, like, syringe or turkey baster, what we use. I don't like that so much. I like that because I can see the water level right here, and I can just fill that up without doing anything. Now, here's the other thing that's slick. If you don't have a full clutch of eggs, now I did this on purpose. I started keeping eggs in the Farm Innovator. I started keeping eggs in here. So I got 2 rows in there. Let me see if y'all can see that. I got 2 rows of eggs in there. And what I like to do, I'm going to show you in a minute. This is my first batch of eggs in here in the Nurture Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm not getting, of course, 20 eggs a day. I'm only getting, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eggs a day from my fertilized eggs. So I don't need that much. The sooner you put, let me see. Come on, chair. Okay. The sooner you get those eggs in the incubator, the less of a chance you have to have roosters hatch out. So what I like to do is get those eggs right in the incubator. Now, when you do that, and then tomorrow I'm gonna put in another batch, and the next day put in another batch until I fill this thing up. Here's the deal though. They're not all going to hatch at the same time, which can be problematic. That's the word. This is what I like to do. Been doing this for years, okay? And it works. You just have to pay attention. This is when the automation stops and you have to be on top of your game. So the best thing to do is write this stuff down on a piece of paper. When you put that clutch of eggs in, when did they hatch out? When is the next row supposed to hatch out? This is the eggs that now are coming out. This is in the coop with no rooster. So these are my dinner eggs is what I'm going to call them. These are going in the refrigerator. Ain't they purty? Ooh, he sure has got a pretty mouth on him, ain't he, Paul? He sure is. God dang. So them is my dinner eggs. Those are going straight in the refrigerator. Those have not been fertilized. So I'm not sure. Well, we'll talk about the fertilization of the eggs coming up. So now that we got one row of eggs in the incubator, the nurture right, here's the ones that I know that the rooster is in this coop. We got 4 eggs so far. How do I keep track of the ones that I had put in there yesterday versus today? You go old school, super old school. We all done this before. Pencil. So this is what I do. On my day 1 eggs, I put the number 1. Day 2 eggs, I just put the number 2 with a normal lead pencil. Don't put ink on it because that ink will soak through and kill the chick. So I put a number 2 on all the eggs that came out the second day. So this helps me keep track of all of the eggs that I put in. So I'm going to put a number 2 on all 4 eggs. So that's all to it. Two to it. Okay, so now I'm going to do my best to show you. I'm going to bring y'all over here without me busting eggs because I got my laptop, unfortunately. So, okay, here's the nurture right, and this is the one we're going to put them in. As you can see, my number 1, my day 1s in there, literally. You can see the number 1 written on all of them. So now all I'm going to do is, as fast as possible, put day 2 eggs in next to them without dropping my humidity too far. So normally I would have Lady Led in here helping me or one of the kids, but I'm solo today. So I'm going to just do this as fast as I can without breaking eggs. I'm going to just drop day 2 in just like that. I like the pointy piece in. This is my first time using it, but that's how I like it. And hurry up and put that back on and make sure that's on properly because you don't want the humidity coming out on the humidity and the heat coming out. There we go. Now watch, since we took it off, the humidity has dropped to 36%. The heat has dropped to 96.5%. 96.5 degrees. That's going to rise very quick. So I like to do this during the daytime because at night when it's cooler in your house, cooler outside, it's harder for that temperature and that humidity to come back up. So that's it. So now I got my day 2 eggs around there, and I'm going to keep doing that till I fill this up, or leave it just like this because this is very small. That's one downside to the nurture right. It's very small. After your chicks hatch, they have to stay in here for about 2 days. Okay, it's not enough room in there for them to be running around, and that's going to get real funky. Where in the farm innovators is tons of space in there for all of these chicks to run around for a week or two. Oh, here it is turning. Dang, I missed it. So here's the dope part about this one. This one turns your eggs just like the hen would do. This carousel spins inside and rolls these eggs around, spinning them like the hen would do with her beak. Where this one has a cradle inside and it rocks those eggs slowly back and forth, which is still awesome. So both of them have a great turning mechanism inside of them, so the eggs turn. Now, if you do this manually, and a lot of people do, I've done it, very unsuccessful. I mean, 2 chicks out of 20 is not good, but I did it manually. And with that, you got to keep turning that egg yourself. You got to keep make sure you turn the egg. You better not have a day. You got to have some time off your job, day off, or the whole family got to chip in, which I had school kids at the time. They wasn't helping me. Turn that egg all day. You got to make sure the moisture, put a rag in there. We ain't going to talk about that. That's a whole nother ball game. So I'm hoping for a great success rate from I know this one. I know how this one works, but I'm really hoping the nurture right really proves itself worthy because a lot of people like this one. So I want to say again, thank you, Mary, for that suggestion. I had to have that thing immediately. I said it must be fate. Somebody is starting to. I've been looking at this thing for years, literally over 10 years, and somebody finally got one, and I seen the success rate. I had to have it. So I got them both because if they don't come up with chicks because of whatever problem they having in the world, you got to make it so you can get your own. Make your own chick, literally raise your own chicks. So if you ain't getting the chicks, okay, you got to go home and incubate. If you get what I'm saying, go on home and incubate. It's safer, safe hatch rate. So this been almost 30 minutes. Do y'all want to go and finish off this hour so I can answer some questions, or the information was enough? Want me to finish off this hour or go ahead and wrap it up in this next 4 minutes? I'm giving y'all the choice. We can wrap it up or we can answer some questions. Questions for 30 minutes. I gave you knowledge for 30, question for 30. I told you I'm going to start trying to time myself. 30 minutes. Keep going. Okay. I got one. Keep going. Anybody? Okay. I got another one. Little Slice of Paradise say keep going. Laura Conway say keep going. Rio's family keep going. Messy Homesteader. Hey, Messy Homesteader. I watched you planting your garden yesterday. Light Brown Sugar. 1 hour. Let's go for it. All right. Y'all got questions? I got answers. So I'm going to put my red one over here. And I'm going to put my silver one over here. This is my hour bell, 30-minute bell. All right. Let's get it. Questions. Any questions whatsoever? Let's go. Because I know people need to know this. With the stuff that's going on with the eggs right now, the stuff that's going on with the eggs, the stuff that's going on with the chicks, I was like, I'm not going to keep on waiting for other people to give me chicks. Y'all saw how upset I was with that video the other day. I was really upset. And trust me, I edited out a lot of curse words. So let me see. Can you address coop sizes? These coops are small, but say 15 hens. Okay. The coops that you buy, and I'm about to show you one actually from Avituven. Okay. I got a coop coming, and it says it's good up to something like 10 chicks. When you get a small coop like that, they're counting the run. Thank you, a resilient dad. Say thanks for the breakdown. I want to know, is it possible to incubate store-bought eggs? No. Only if you're getting them farm fresh. Once they're refrigerated, that kind of kills that embryo. So I've heard of it happening, but I wouldn't bank on that at all. So I find some chicks to get eggs from looking for understanding from the bay. I got you. Just, man, reach out to me. I got you all the way. But the small coops, y'all, they're not counting the coop itself. When they say it can hold 15 birds, they're counting the run underneath it or the extension run on it. They think 15 birds can fit. They play with words. I told you I hate people to play with words. It can fit 15 birds in this coop. 15 birds ain't going to go in that coop all at one time at night. They can't fit. So don't let that get you. If they say it can fit 15 birds, now I know this is going to sound rough. If this coop says it can fit 15 birds and it got a run on it, divide that by 3. If it say it can fit 15, it can probably only fit 5. Trust and believe that, okay? I ain't even going to say half. I'm going to say 1/3 of whatever number that they giving you, because chickens get huge, as you see, and they need space, or they start pecking each other feathers out, pecking each other head. And that's why we call one of our hens peckerhead. They peck their brains all the way out because she thinks she's human. She thinks she's better than the rest of them. So I hope that helped you. Let me see. I had another one. Okay. Rio's Family Garden says, do you put your harvested eggs in the incubator the same day? You can wait a couple of days or so, but I am just coming in right now from gathering my eggs, starting this video, and put them right in the incubator. Now, if you got a whole bunch of dirt, mud, and poop on them, rinse them off real good with some filtered water. Rinse them off real good, because what'll happen is, remember, if you got poop and stuff all on that egg, this is at 100 degrees in here. So all of that poop and moisture and humidity is going to, the bacteria from that gets inside that egg. I promise you, I've seen this happen a lot of times. That egg will literally explode, funky, messed up, burnt black egg juice all inside there, and your whole house gonna stink. Anybody that's incubated eggs know those eggs, you're literally slow cooking those. You're making them rotten. If there is, we're going to talk about that too. If there's no embryo inside, once you candle them and check inside, get rid of that egg. Because if you just in there cooking a plain old egg, you going to have a mess. You may end up with a little bomb, a funk bomb. Okay. Let me see. Where do you get eggs if you don't hatch chickens? You can go to a farmer, go to anywhere that say they have farm fresh eggs, go to your local farmer's market where they got the eggs right there, and they're not refrigerated. They're out in the open. But you can Google your local area and get, or go on Facebook Market, and it's people that literally sell eggs. Go online and they sell fertilized eggs, and they'll ship them to you as well. Okay, let me see. I've heard people dry hatch. Have you heard of that? I've heard of it. I don't know nothing about it. I've never tried it, so I don't say. If they say it work, I gotta believe them, because I've never tried it. But thank you, Resilient Dad, for that, my brother. Okay, let me see. Tell us about the exploding egg. That scares me. What scares you? Stinking? Because all that's going to happen is you're going to stink if it explodes on you. If you leave a funky egg out on the counter for a month or two, and you go to touch it and it pop and all that stinking egg, rotten egg get on you, it's not a real bomb. Okay, that shouldn't scare you unless you just don't like taking showers. Let me see. Does your knowledge also work for ducks? Yes. Thank you for that, Kaylin. These can also hatch quails, turkeys, and ducks. I don't know about ostriches, but I ain't never tried that. But quail, turkey, and duck, you can put all of those in there. But you want to check for the incubation date. If I'm not mistaken, quails don't need a whole full 21 days. And I think turkeys may need a little over 21 days. Something like that. Read up on it. It comes in your instructions, okay? Okay. Heather Monterio, question. Is there a way to guarantee roosters, or is that a mystery? No, there are techniques to see if it's a rooster. This is my technique. I've never failed. The only time I've failed is I didn't test them at all. Get this. You let the chicks get about a week or two old when they get their first little feathers. The females have 2 rows of feathers. The females, listen close. The females have 2 rows of feathers. They got this little row up here, and right under that, another row. The males only have 1 long set of feathers right here. It's like steps. It's like this. This is a female. She got 1 set of feathers and then another set of feathers under it. And when you spread them out, they like this. A male only has these, and they're just really long. So that's a real easy sign to find out whether you got a rooster or you got a bunch of hens. There's other ways too. I don't like those ways because it's kind of cruel, like flipping them upside down, see if they're gonna freak out, all of that. And that's not a sure shot way. What is the fertilization process of the egg after the hen lays? The fertilization process happens. The rooster jumps on the back of a hen. Okay, if we're gonna talk about it, the rooster jumps on the back of a hen. If you don't know the rest, I don't know what to tell you. But there is a piece that some people don't know that I will tell you. The rooster does not have a male member, if you will. He does not have a male member. Both the rooster and the hen both have like couplers where they literally couple themselves together. The male passes his package onto her and fertilizes the eggs that's already inside her. Okay, so now when she lays an egg, that is a fertilized egg. If you do not have a rooster, she's gonna lay eggs anyway. They just won't be fertilized. So these, what I call my dinner eggs, there is no rooster in those. None of these are fertilized. Okay, so the male, no member, he couples. If you flip him over, that's why you can't tell a male from a female. He ain't got nothing dangling down there like a goat or something. He got pretty much look like the same thing she got. Now, what you can do, you will know if there has been a successful mating, because if you sit there and watch, I know it's kind of weird and creepy when you sitting there watching chickens, go at it like, Sometimes you got to do that though to make sure, especially if you're mating chickens you're breeding special chicken, like a breed of chickens. Me, I don't care about having mutt chickens. But if you're mating special breeds of chickens, just like you mating dogs, you got to be there to watch that to make sure this goes properly. Okay. Sometimes the female does not want nothing to have to do with him, and he end up making a mess somewhere else. Okay. Probably on your leg. With a chicken and a rooster, a hen and a rooster, you can tell if this was a successful mate or not a successful mate, because sometimes you'll see he up there going to town and she'll kind of shake him off her back, and you'll see his package hit the ground instead of inserting inside of her. The package hit the ground. That was not a successful mate. And I know that from experience. I know a lot of people say, nah, that's not true. If you're just beginning to mate this chicken and this hen and this rooster, and you keep seeing that package hit the ground, that is not a successful mate. If you don't see the package, that does not 100% guarantee it was a successful mate, but it definitely is better than you watching him make a mess in the coop, okay? Going to incubate, if you will, all right? All right, so let me see. You gotta have a few skills, but Trust me, on the feathers with the roosters and the male, I mean the rooster and the hen, that's almost a guarantee, almost, depending on the breeds. Once you get in those fancy breeds, I'm out of the game. Okay, let me see. Let me see where we at. Have I tried a crow collar? Yes, and a billion people suggested crow collars. I'm gonna say two things about crow collars to me. One, I kind of think they're a little cruel. Okay, this is my humanity part speaking. I think they're a little cruel. And two, I tried that one year. I had 2 roosters. It worked. It worked so good, and he could not crow so good that he sat there for a minute and he passed out. And I thought he would just, first he trying to scratch and get the crow collar off of him. Then after a while, he just kind of like little eyeballs cocked and he just looked up to the heavens. And I was like, get on up from there. Man, look at him. He's showing out because he don't want that collar on. No, once his legs start stiffening up like this, I rushed in the coop, took the collars off. So you gotta have them at the exact perfect spot on their neck. You gotta have them at the exact perfect tension on their neck, because you would choke one out. I put him in the sleeper, hole, and I could never get it right. If I made it a little too loose, he crowing like ain't nothing on him. If I made it too tight, I just go to sleep. I debowed him. Go to sleep. And I did that so much, I literally, if you ever want to know the truth, you know what I use those Velcro crow collars for now? For all my solar wire cords, that's what I use them for, to keep those when I bring them in and keep them by the storm. I use the crow collars to keep my cords together. Either you're going to have a rooster or you ain't. Some people say they work, and maybe I just didn't know what I was doing, but I felt that I was doing more harm than I was doing good. And I must touch on another thing too. Roosters are beautiful. Roosters are beautiful animals. And to have some piece of junk Velcro collar that's gonna get muddy and dirty, and then they neck feathers, because that's one of the most beautiful parts on a rooster, his neck feathers, his wing feathers, and his tail. And for you to have this ugly old thing around, like, it was the Dukes, you don't always die from tobacco. It made me, I said, I'd rather hear him crow. I'd rather give him away or sell him than have this thing on his neck. And he was always flipping out. He was freaking the hens out. When I finally kind of got it down where the crow wasn't as loud, he was always bothering with it, and he was freaking the hens out, and they didn't want to mate with him because he came, he had that fake jewelry, like Biz Markie used to say. He had that fake trunk jewelry on, They didn't want to mess with him, and that was messing up my hatch rate. So I just rather not use them, unless I would love for somebody to show me that they used them and they work. I have not seen that yet on no video, none. And again, people was talking about the surgery. I'm not going to surgically cut open my rooster so he can shut up. I'm just not going to do that. I would rather move out of a neighborhood and move to a farm where I can have a normal rooster instead of, I'm not doing that, man. Even if I had a dog, I'm not cutting his nuggets off. I know he gonna act up, make a mess. I'm not cutting off his grapes, man. I'm just not doing it. That's part of me I'm not doing. I'm not fixing on them. I'm not doing that, man. Let me see. Let me go back up here. I'm sorry, y'all. I was off on a tangent. Let me see where I'm at here. Okay, I'm looking for, okay. How long will hens continue laying fertilized eggs once you remove the rooster? Now, there's been speculations of that all the way up to a week. I've heard 30 days. I'm not too sure of that. But I know for a fact, at least a week from experience. I don't know scientifically, but I know up to a week because I've done it. Okay. Let me see. Do you have an intro to chickens video? You in it right now, my sister. I have people sign up for a chicken class. Nobody signed up, so I kind of let it go. No, he does not have a. He said, "Does he have a package? It's just hidden." No, it looks like a mouth. No, he doesn't. It ain't nothing hidden. It's called a vent, literally, and that's what it is. It's a vent. Something can fall out, and she has a vent, so something can fall in. That he does not have a ding dong, if you will, at all. That is other animals. Do you recycle the eggs you find out not fertilized with? No, you don't. You throw them out because if that egg is rotten, you're going to cause a problem in your garden. You're going to have a problem if it explode on you. If they're not fertilized and they've been in there for a while, but by the time you candle them, let that go. Let that go. Because you got a rotten egg on your hands, okay? Now, what's going to happen if you put a rotten egg out in your garden? You're going to have two problems. Number one, it's going to smell like a graveyard. Number two, everything on the planet Earth is going to be trying to dig up your garden to find that rotten egg because coyotes, wolves, bears, possums, foxes, all of them can smell it. They'll tear your garden up trying to get that rotten egg. So, no. Let me see. Let me see. Where we at? If you had a question and I didn't get to it, say it again because y'all know I'm long-winded with the question. Because when do you candle the egg? After I think after the first week. I haven't done this in about 2 years, so I'm kind of rusty. I'm gonna be able to tell you right now. When do you candle the egg? I'm going to say after that first 7 days. 7 days. Okay. Somebody said day 6. There you go. I was right. Okay. Now, that's another way to incubate your eggs. If you do not want to purchase an incubator, which this is a pretty much guaranteed way of doing it, there is Broody hens that you can purchase. I'm going to tell you one that's notorious for going broody. You got two kinds. One of them I love, one of them I do not like. One is the black Australorp. They go broody a lot. And they mean when they broody. That means they will sit on a clutch of eggs until they hatch or they don't. If that hen sits on that clutch of eggs and some of them are not fertilized, she will sit on there until those eggs explode under her and that rotten egg be on her. And for some reason, they end up dying for some reason or getting sick and dying because that rotten egg and that bacteria up under her, you got to clean out that whole nesting area, the nesting box. She won't let no other hens in to lay. So you got to put another nesting box in the coop so they can have somewhere to lay their eggs. She's mean. You got to put water and food in the nesting box for her. Or she will starve to death. She won't get off them eggs. She will die there. It'll be 100 degrees outside. She will not get out. A lot of hens they're that dedicated where they like, I'm not getting off for 1 second, and they will die. The other one is a Buff Orpington. The Buff Orpington is one of the best. That is my favorite hen of all time. If anybody ever asks you a trivia question of which chicken is Laird Farmer 73's all-time favorite, hands down, is the Buff Orpington. The Buff Orpington is the kindest, biggest, most prettiest, most gentlest, human friendliest, biggest egg layingest. Let me show you a Buff Orpington egg. Here go one versus everybody else's. I'm gonna just try to keep it even. This is a buff. This is a buff Orpington egg versus everybody else. This big mama right here. This big one right here. I'm trying to do this without them falling out of my hand. They lay big, gigantic brown eggs, and everybody else's is nice size. They large, but nothing big as hers. So she lays the biggest eggs. She's a great egg layer. She's a great mother. She takes care of the chicks better. She incubates the eggs. She is the best. I'm not going to talk about the other part, the dinner part, but Buff Orpington, all-time favorite chicken of all time for me. Okay. The biggest meat egg, they're the best dual purpose chicken. I say multi-purpose chicken because they do everything. Great meat bird, great egg layer, very gentle, very nice, very quiet, and they take care of the chicks. They can incubate your eggs for you. And it's almost a guarantee. If there's enough eggs in that nesting box, something will kick in them, and they'll see all them eggs. They will sit on those eggs, pluck all the feathers off their chest, so they can have skin on eggs to keep that humidity, and they will sit on those eggs until they. Now, Buff Orpingtons, here's the other best part. They will get off the nest for just enough to eat, drink, get back on the nest. They ain't dumb enough to die on the nest. Black Australorps do. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get back in here. Say those were my first chicks in 2012. I have new ones right now. They are the best. They are the best. They ain't all flighty and scared every time you walk up on them. They like Rhode Island Reds and stuff and Leghorns. They ready to leave if you come in there. How you doing, Rhonda Moffitt? How you doing? Okay, I'm looking for questions again, y'all. Y'all know I don't like giving like 2-word answers. What is your cycle for bringing in new DNA? There is no particular cycle. I just know if this rooster, it can be a while. It depends on how many hens you have, how many roosters you have. You know what I'm saying? If you got a lot of hens, one rooster, that DNA gonna stretch. But for the most part, all you need to do to bring in new DNA, don't get rid of all your hens, just get rid of the rooster, replace the rooster. That's all you really got to do. Me and a friend of mine that lived down the road from me at our old homestead, all we used to do is just swap. Like, this is my rooster, this is his rooster. We didn't like say you can have this, you can have this. Nope. This season, let my rooster stay at his house. I let him keep his rooster at my house, exchange that DNA. You know, when you got good neighbors like that and a good network of people that's willing to work with you like that, that's how that works. Let me see. Just keep on bringing those questions, even if you've already asked it and I didn't answer it. Throw it in there again. We running out of time. Throw it in there again so I can catch it, okay? Because y'all know I'm long-winded. Rhonda Moffitt, awesome. Now our power was out for 3 days, led and kicked in. Oh, and Lead Farmer kicked in. I brought the power to you. That's something else. I'm gonna do a shameless plug. It's going to be on this channel and Hood Tech 73. We're going to do 6 days of power. 6 days of power mean every single day I'm going to be introducing a brand new solar power generator. If not a solar power generator, it's going to be solar panels. Solar panels, solar power generators. We're going to talk all about them every single day, starting, what's today? Tuesday? Probably tomorrow. Okay? All right, let's get back in here. What do you think of the Langston chicken, black chicken? No, I've never had. I don't get into a lot of exotic birds at all. If you're breeding them for show birds, a lot of those exotic chickens are horrible egg layers. Horrible. They're just there for show. And let me show. I've had some of those pretty birds, show birds, and guess what? They lay those little tiny blue eggs and green eggs. That's the first bird to get killed by a hawk, an eagle, a possum, a raccoon, because it's like a lure on a fishing pole, a shiny lure. That hawk up in that tree, and that bird got all the big weave on her head, flopping around. That's the first one gonna get killed. I did it once. I never do that again. They plucked them out of all these hens. That's the first one they get. So I don't get into the exotic birds. I'm doing it not for show. I'm doing it for eating, and your chickens can also maintain your property when you got ticks, fleas, and all that stuff in your yard, pests that hurt your garden. Chickens eat that stuff way more than a lot of other animals will ever do. How can you get started on raising chickens? Go purchase some right away. I'm going to say this. Before you buy chickens, go buy a coop or fashion yourself a coop, build a coop. Don't buy chickens and you ain't got nowhere for them to go because they grow so fast. You will have chicks like this on day one. After that first 7 days, they poop starts stinking. And they're going to be about almost big as a doggone baseball. And you can be like, what the heck? You start them out in one of those little Rubbermaid totes, right? That's all cute. You got your little light and stuff. Yeah. 7 days to 2 weeks later, you got a whole chicken in there with feathers. And all the little feather dust is all over your house because they kick up dust. It's going to be on everything. It's going to be under everything, inside every places you didn't even think dust could go. I don't know what that feather dust be, but it can get on everything. So fashion your coop or figure out where you're going to keep them before you buy the chicks, because I promise you they grow so fast you ain't going to know what to do. And a lot of people like to go off and buy 15, 20 of them because they only this big. A chicken get this big. A chicken ain't nothing but a little turkey, and they get this big quick, and they can fly. After that first week or two, they flying in your kitchen and stuff. And you got to keep a cage on top of your Rubbermaid tote. They kicking over the water. They kicking over the food. You wasting chick feed in there. You wasting food because they kicking it over because they trying to get on top of it to fly. Trust me. I've been at this for years. I've seen it all. Are those exotic birds, and those exotic birds aren't usually cold hardy. They aren't cold hardy or heat tolerant. You are correct. Usually they are not hardy birds at all. I also have fertilized eggs I can give you to hatch your own. Thank you, A Plain Life. Thank you for that. Let me see. Please, y'all, don't exchange your information on here. Don't exchange where you are located because you don't know who you giving information to. I see somebody in here like, oh, I'm over here in Georgia. You about to give them your address. Man, you might be inviting murderers. We ain't the only good guys ain't watching us right now. I just want you to, this is social media. We're not sitting in a group of all friends. There are enemies watching and listening and can't wait to get their hands on you. Don't put your personal information out here. If you want to sell stuff, go to Facebook Market, Craigslist. Don't do that on here. I promise you, you're going to end up with a loony. Ask me how I know. So please refrain from giving your personal information out about your chicks or eggs that you're selling. Please don't do that here. Or email address, because if you put your email address up here, the loonies love that too. Don't do it. What about the beans and pasta? What about the beans and pasta, Angie? What you need to know? I can answer a question for that. Are lavender Orpingtons just as friendly as buff Orpingtons? I've never had any. I can't even answer that. I ain't gonna lie to you. If your question, I can answer a question about the beans and the pasta. Everybody said the beans make sense, plenty of protein. What about the pasta? Why did you bring the pasta? That was not a scientific situation. I used the pasta because I had some. Every holiday, everybody got to run back to the store for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and birthdays, and they always run out of certain things. You know what they always run out of? Macaroni. Because macaroni and cheese is one of the staples of every holiday, no matter what your religion, creed, or faith. So I had macaroni noodles, tons of them. And I needed something to throw in a filler so they just don't just be eating beans. So I added macaroni noodles. I cooked the noodles, cooked the beans, fed it to the chickens. Everybody thought that was some scientific, mad scientist thing. Nope, I just had extra noodles. Plus, of course, noodles are made out of wheat flour. You know, the pasta, it kind of makes sense. But it wasn't, I'm not going to pretend to be no superhero on that. There's no science behind that at all. It was just a filler. Yes, people say, what about rice? You can use rice. You can use whatever you want. Just make sure it's all cooked. It is what it is. Question, can they eat rice? Chickens, yes, cook it first. I feed mine rice all the time. Cook it first. Let me give a fun fact about chickens. What do you think about feeding them fish guts? That's exactly where we're going on a fun fact. Laird Farmer fun fact right now. Chickens, listen to me close, and I want you to be able to quote me. Chickens, yes, your beautiful chickens, your beautiful roosters, and your beautiful hens are nothing more than baby little miniature dinosaurs. They are just like the crocodile, okay? They are just like the crocodile. We're going to be talking about solar power generators on Hood Tech 73, okay? Chickens, you need to understand this. I got a lot of people saying, I thought chickens were vegetarians. Absolutely not. That's like thinking that a crocodile, because it spends most of its time in the water, floating in algae and goo, that it's a vegetarian. A chicken is almost a raptor. A chicken will eat anything that an eagle or a hawk will eat. All the difference is we've just domesticated them. That's it. But I'm going to give you another fun fact on top of that. A chicken will eat anything. Chickens will peck each other. This is where the terminology pecking order came into play, because there's a chicken that all the other chickens hate. It sound like high school, don't it? Sound like grade school. There's a chicken, one chicken out of all your flock that all the other chickens cannot stand. They will pick on her, rip her feathers out, and even kill her and eat her. So there is a hierarchy. That's the main mother hen that calls the shots. Don't nobody eat till she eat. When I'm in the kitchen, she in the kitchen. That hen, okay? And there's the little George McFly hen, where everybody put the kick me sign on their back and kicking them in the butt all day. They will literally eat each other. If you don't feed them, if you do not pay attention to your flock, they will literally devour one another one at a time. You will come out and be like, where's Henrietta? I seen some feathers. Fox must have got her. No, the rest of the chickens got her. They will eat and devour her down to there's nothing left but a skeleton and feathers. And they will even eat the feathers. So you might just find a skeleton or a leg bone. True story. Okay. So a chicken will eat everything that a hawk or a rooster will eat. Now I'm going to give you that other fun fact that was on back of that. There are wild chickens everywhere. There are wild chickens just like there are wild deer. Okay. In certain neighborhoods, I had one on my mail route. It's wild roosters. I got footage of it. I got to find it so I can show it to you. Wild roosters and wild hens running through the neighborhood on my mail route. They don't belong to anybody. They belong to God. They just run through the neighborhood, and every now and then, every season, I will see new chicks, and they just live off in the trees. Usually, those are the ones that they call Easter eggers, the smaller frame chickens, because they can fly. They don't need you. I had 2 sets of those wild chickens, wild roosters, wild hens. One was at this one dialysis center that lived kind of in the woods. This dialysis center I had to deliver to every day. I'd throw some lunch out to the chickens and the hens. They live there. They don't belong to anybody. Then another part of my route, there was like a whole flock. They didn't belong to anybody. There was a lot of abandoned houses over there. They were hood chicks. I thought y'all like that. They were literally hood chicks. They lived in a rough part of the hood, and they was, they was about them streets. Hood chicks. They literally were hood chicks. So they had this like pimp rooster, used to come and wrangle him up. He might be all the way halfway down the block. He was a little rascal too. And the chicks is going too far down the other block. Y'all have heard of this before, okay? Everybody done seen movies and picture shows, and you done been to New York, okay? You done been to Chicago. You know how this go. The little rooster come running down full blast. And then all these chicks that done wandered off, right? They look back and see him like, oh no. Oh, here come Pee-wee, y'all. Hey, come on, let's go. He'll come around them all up. And if you've ever had any roosters, or if you've ever had any hens, roosters do this pimp dance. And we call it, come on, girl. Because he does, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on over this way. Come on, what I told you? What I told you about going down the block? Huh? Y'all trying to what? Huh? Because you seen him? Where my eggs at? Y'all been out here all day. I ain't seen no eggs. You better get back over here and do what you're supposed to do. True story. It's almost like watching an old pimp movie, because that's how you do them, even in your coop. But when you got them hood chicks, them wild hood chicks, that's the ones with the fancy hair y'all was talking about. They look like they got their little weave, just got their hair did and stuff. And they even got the little fur on the feet. Yeah, they out there in the hood. They trying to get some eggs laid off up in here. I can't make this up. I literally have footage of this because it was maybe 2 years, 3 years ago or better. I thought it was so hilarious that I was like, I'm gonna show everybody on YouTube. But the only reason I didn't, because I worked at the post office, I might get in trouble for that. Not no more. What's up, homie? So I cannot make this stuff up, and I'm going to dig that footage out, and I'm going to show you. You ain't going to believe it till you see it. Matter of fact, if I can't find the footage, I just go back to the neighborhood because I know them hood chicks is out. It's warming up too. Them hood chicks is out on that corner. And I promise you they be on this corner at this one particular house. They don't belong to nobody. They belong to the streets. Y'all, I'm cracking myself up now. They belong to the streets, man. True story. And then little Pee-wee, the pimp chicken, the pimp rooster, you'll see. I can't listen, I ain't gonna say that. I can't make this up. Okay. So I will show you. I promise you, I will show you. And if I can't find the footage in my old phone, I promise you I will go back to that neighborhood. And I know they're out there because they was there every day for years on my route. Every day. Ain't nobody eradicated them because they don't hurt nobody. Okay? Every now and then, especially over there in the hood, you just snatch one of them up like you hungry. Your stamps ain't come in. They ain't re-upped on your food stamp. One of these got to go. One of these got to go. They just be all, that's like Popeyes walking in front of your house all day and all night. You think they're going to make it in the hood? Nope, they ain't going to do it. So, any questions before I go? I've been on here over an hour. I can't believe it. What's wrong with these raggedy mugs? Maybe I didn't set them right. I'm blaming them. It's just me. Blame myself. None of these went off, did they? So any questions? Since we've been in an hour, I even go 120. We got 10 minutes. That'll be an hour and a half. Any questions whatsoever? Yeah, them chicks belong to the streets. They don't like being cooped up. See, ain't all of this stuff in this lingo making sense now? The lingo that we use in everyday life, man, where you think these words in this language came from? It came from farmers, man. She don't like being cooped up, man. She belonged to the streets, bro. Wild chicks. Pecking order. You acting like an old mother hen, because the mother hen got to look after the rest of the hens. And then you got Pee-wee and Rudy. You know, the ones you be like, where you going? I'm about to go with Rudy. No, you ain't. Come back in the house. He ain't no good. He ain't no good. Come back in the house. Come back in the coop. All of that makes sense now. The language that we speak every day came from farmers and living this life, from homesteaders, farmers. All this lingo that we use to this very day, everyday life, came from actual, okay? No, this ain't no just some slang people just made up in the projects. No, this came from old farmers. All of this. Stop pecking on me. You all acting like old mother hen. All worry about what I'm doing. And then you got Prissy, the one they pick on all the time. Look at her. She thinks she prissy. You think you cute, don't you? Ugh. Ain't no man gonna want you. Prissy. That's that bottom chick. Oh, I just thought of one. Oh, the bottom chick. See the bottom chick. See, I can't make this up. I just thought of that one myself. She the bottom chick, the one that you know she ain't marrying material. She gonna get picked on by her peers, and Pee-wee and Rudy don't want to have nothing to do with her. All Pee-wee and Rudy want to do is jump on her back. She the bottom chick. Literally, I can't make this stuff up. The more you talk, the more you start realizing, the more you learn about knowledge of homesteading, farming, and all of this, you start seeing where these words come from. Where did these terminologies come from? Bottom chick. She the bottom chick. She ain't gonna never get no respect. Just let me see. These cuts by JCN E7 says, I took your advice, immediately purchased a hatcher. We're going to figure it out. There you go. It's easy. It ain't even hard to figure out. Now, I'm going to show them real quick. I'm going to get rid of this light real quick so it'll help me a little bit before we go, okay? I'm going to show you now. The big farm innovations comes with a candler too, but it's not built on the machine. I'm about to show you. It comes with this little flashlight. That's the candler. So all you do is cut this on, and it just holds the egg on the top. And this is how you're going to find out. It ain't dark enough in here, but you will see what I mean. Let me see. If this probably need batteries. It need batteries. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there we go. You can't see it. Let me get to the camera. You can't see it because it's dark in here. You can see the light come on a little bit inside. What this is going to do is, as that embryo grows, right now it looks like it's just clear in there, right? You can't see it right now because it's too much light. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do this video on a short to show you. Or better yet, I'm going to send you to Lady Led's video that we incubated eggs a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever. You'll see what it looks like. Inside this, there's nothing in there. It's not a fertilized egg. So it's perfectly clear. Once this chick starts growing in a fertilized egg, this starts getting dark from the bottom, and that embryo and that chick starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and filling up this shell until literally it breaks out of the shell and it's a baby chick. It's crazy because inside here, when you candle it and look at it through this flashlight, not only can you see veins all throughout this egg from the inside, but you can see the chick in there moving just like a human child. Every blue moon, it'll move around, kind of switch around a little bit, just like a human child. It'll blow your mind. So what this does, if it doesn't do anything else, it kind of brings you a little bit closer to humanity. And before you do certain things to certain animals, it makes you at least stop and pray for the respect of the animal that gave itself to keep you alive. You understand what I'm saying? Just saying. All natives used to pay homage and pay respect to the animal that they hunted to keep their tribe alive. Before, we ain't just gonna start tearing at it like a lot of hunters do today and put their head up on the wall. No, the natives used every part of every animal that they hunted. Every single part of that animal was used to preserve the tribe, everything, their hide, their body, everything. So they know that that animal was sacrificed to keep them alive. They paid mad respect. And a lot of places around the United States of America and in Canada is named after certain tribes and certain animals. That's not by coincidence. That's for real. Okay. So we got to put that part in, and we got to remember keeping chickens and keeping livestock literally puts you more in tune the way we're supposed to be with the food that we eat. Instead of just thinking that this is an inanimate object that they passing out this window through this drive-through and it's just sustenance, you know, something had to give itself so you can sustain yourself. And it makes you think a lot better on what you put in your mouth. Did anyone ask about feeding chickens goat food? I've never done that. Okay, let me see. Just watch a post. Okay, that's a good one. Laura Conway. Just watched a post on raising fly beetle larvae in buckets for chicken feed. Do you? Absolutely not. The part about raising your soldier fly larvae and other kind of their maggots, the reason I don't do that, the protein from the larvae is good. There's a part that a lot of these videos do not tell you about raising soldier fly larvae or anything else. You have to put rotting meat in a bucket and put holes in the top and holes under the bottom so the flies can get in, lay their larvae on the meat, the rotting, spoiled, stinking to high hell meat. The larvae falls from the bottom, the chickens get a snack. Yes, it works. It works well. But you better be living out in some acreage where you don't have neighbors and you don't want to smell it either, meaning your hens need to be, their coop need to be too far away from your house. Do you really want that? It's not worth it to me. Rotting meat is going to not only stink to all get out, it's going to attract every four-legged creature to your land. And guess what? When they get to the rotten meat inside your coop, they're going to be like, it stink over here, but here's some fresh meat. They're going to destroy all your hens and chickens. They're going to eat that before they even think about eating rotten meat. Okay. Oh, here's another one that they don't tell you about. I tried this on my old land. That's how I know it didn't work long at all. Maybe a week tops. Turkey vultures. Most places in the United States of America have those big, gigantic turkey vultures. And they stay over your house like the Addams family because they smell it too. And then your neighbors a mile away gonna think y'all got haunted houses and it's a ghost somewhere in your house because the vultures never leave your house. Those vultures start landing in your yard. The vultures start fighting in your yard. The vultures are trying to get in the coop to get your rotten meat by your chickens. Those vultures also have toxic saliva that if they do happen to bite one of your chickens to get them out the way, instead of them fighting each other, they start fighting your chickens to get that rotten meat, and your chickens is out there just trying to graze and stuff and free range, your chicken, you gonna come up with some dead chickens, you ain't gonna know what happened. All you gotta do is let a little bit of that saliva get infected on one of them bites on your chicken. History. Look it up. That's part of that vulture's digestion, that toxicity, just like a hyena. That's how they're even able to break down that rotten meat. Every animal just can't be going off eating rotten meat. Vultures can, hyenas can, because they have that crap inside of them. And if that get on you, it's like, you ever see Jurassic Park and that dinosaur spit that green goo in, he made him. So I tried that years ago and I couldn't stand the smell. I couldn't stand what it brought. Everything was trying to tunnel under my chicken coop. Then the vultures was around like I was some kind of freaking wizard from Hog's Wharf. I just got tired of that. I was like, man, this is just creepy. They never left. I got rid of that old stinking meat. You thought I was Harry Potter. I got rid of that old stinking meat. Stuff stopped trying to dig up under the coop. The vultures went away. I said, I'll never do that again. Ever. Ever. Okay. I live in the South too, so stuff go to stinking real quick. It don't take but one day and 100 degrees for a steak to start stinking. Okay. Let me see. I started 1 bin of mealworms and have 4 bins in 2 months. Question, can you do a video on keeping your coop clean and keeping the coop smell down, please? I've done a video on that already. Please go to my chicken coop playlist. What I do is called deep bedding. I just keep, literally, I can take y'all out there right now if my laptop will let me. What I do is when I cut the grass, I put the clippings out there in the coop. When I rake the leaves, which I just did the other day, finally, my neighbors is like, hallelujah. Put your leaves in your coop. The chickens and the hens are going to find little bugs in the leaves. They're going to love to eat wonderful snacks. They're going to find beetles, larvae, all kind of stuff in the leaves. They're going to eat up a lot of leaves. They're going to poop on the leaves, scratch it all up. You're going to have the best compost. You won't even have to buy compost because you will have literally 55-gallon drums of compost if you just do that. Your chickens are going to make the compost for you. And this is why. Stick with me. Remember, we're giving them beans, macaroni and cheese, hamburgers, hot dogs. We're throwing away to them what we don't want to eat or can't eat anymore, right? That's some of the compost. Then you throwing in green cut grass. That's your green nitrogen that you throwing in that compost bin, okay? Then you throwing in your browns, which is your leaves and sticks and stuff that you throwing in your... What the chickens do is scratch all that up for you. While they looking for the hot dogs and the bugs and stuff, they scratching it up for you. Next thing you know, give it 30. Oh, mind you, and they're pooping on it. So their chicken feces is, when I tell you, some of the best fertilizer on the planet, high in nitrogen. Their chicken poop, the brown leaves, the green grass, and all the other unedible stuff that you threw out there, the chickens scratch it up. You will have the most beautiful black compost, better than mushroom compost, all day for free. You cannot beat that. If you have your chickens in a coop, not only will they feed you every day with literally farm fresh eggs every day, they will make you the best fertilizer and compost for your entire garden. You will have more fertilizer and compost than you can use. I promise you. This is a promise that I'm making to you, a guarantee. Okay. I have a composter right outside this window right here. I haven't used it. I bought it because it was cool and I thought it was going to be awesome. I used it maybe once, and I promise you it's probably some compost still in it from 4 years ago. What you need it for? The chickens is doing it. So all I do is go to the coop, take a shovel, scoop it up, put it in 5-gallon buckets, and put it around my trees, and my trees flourish and give me fruit every single season. Y'all see the videos every season. No, my homestead is not pretty and cute, but I get fruit. Ooh, I like that. I like the sound of that. Mayor. Oh, lead farmer. Man. True story. You gonna get fruit. My farm ain't cute, but I gets fruit. Huh? So, no, y'all, I'm about to start flowing on y'all in a minute. Y'all want to hear me spit. How often do you collect fertilizer from the coop? Whenever I need it. I can collect some right now if I needed it. Whenever I need it, because it doesn't go bad. You know, it never goes bad. So when you do the deep bed method, they just keep scratching it, churning it up, and then they lay in it and they sand bath in it. Next thing you know, you got the finest, and it don't stink. It smells like the richest black soil you can smell. You can't make this up. Okay? You can't make this up. My lemon tree just started producing. I can't wait till they ripen. Okay. Now, what's up, Spooning with Sunshine Homestead? No, I ain't gonna start flowing on y'all. I ain't gonna start. Okay, we've been in here. Ooh, yeah, that's over. We've been in here too long. Any questions, y'all? Well, I think we about done with the questions. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it up, and we just gonna have another chicken session. But please, if you ain't getting the chicks, it's time to go home and incubate. Okay, I'm gonna leave the video like that. Do you add lime to the bedding? No, I don't. I don't add any of that stuff. Okay, lime and diatomaceous earth are good, but you can actually disrupt the balance of your soil using too much of it or too little of it anyway. No need for it. Okay, everybody have a wonderful day. I hope what I had to say here helped a little bit. I tried to answer as many questions as I could, but I promise you, please look in the description box. I got both of these incubators. They are both awesome, but I got these both, and you can follow the link and go pick these up on Amazon. Awesome, both of them. But if you either have chickens, plan to have chickens, you want to add this into your budget, because the way things are going, even if things go back to normal, whatever that means, you want this in your chicken arsenal. Okay? So I'm going to dig out that footage of the pimping chickens and the chicks belong to the streets. My hood chicks, I'm going to dig that footage up, and I'll probably try to put it in a short or something. Okay. If I cannot find it, I'm gonna literally put in the work, go back to that hood on my old route and find the hood chicks. All right. Everybody, Lead Farmer 73, stay safe, stay warm. I love, and in some areas, stay cool with the temperature. Stay cool. I love you, and I'm out. All right. Peace. Thank you for everybody for coming in too. And thank you to all my new subscribers. Oh my God, I wanted to say that too. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers that came in. Thank you so much. I cannot believe the response that I've been getting. I want to say thank you so much. And when I hit that milestone, I got to do something. We got to do something, because I really want to thank you all for coming in and just supporting the brother. All right. I'm just trying my best to give you what I got. Lead Farmer 73, I love you, and I'm out.